how do you invite people into a place where they feel comfortable? And that's where I see what camp does, and that's what I pray. Leader is not just within camp counselor, but now I have a different role now within camps where it's the same role, but now being kind of over camps. Where now we're also teaching directors how to create those spaces and watching directors in a way and counselors in a way of going, this was really cool, and seeing that excitement. So that mentorship that comes down, and how do you lead this, and how do you advocate for, and how do you acknowledge those things, that transfers over into the church, because now I can say, okay, when we train people to do this, like, hey, I had a really good relationship with, or a really good talk with my coworker, my kid, my parent, my spouse, my neighbor, who we haven't been able to talk, or we just did something that was fun.
Yeah, I love that. So as you make the transition into ministry, you get your call, you've started this whole process.
Yeah.
How's that evolved for you over these years of doing ministry, from what you thought it was going to be at the very beginning to what it's turned into?
I think everybody has in their head what a minister is, whether it be through TV, pop culture, or whatever. And Ian, my son, will ask me sometimes, he'll always ask me, how did your day go? Because that's just what we do in the car, back and forth. And then sometimes he'll ask, what did you do today? And there are sometimes I have to look at him and go, I don't know, but I spent all day doing it. And it's the amount of work that is, and this is what is different than camp, the amount of work that is unfinished, the amount of work that may never see closure, the amount of work that is just progressively and continually walking with somebody, or dealing with an issue, or dealing with tragedies or responsibilities or joys or hopes. And there can be times where every day you come into the church and it's busy with something. And there can be days where I have a lot of time to read and reflect.
Yeah.
And it goes in these weird cycles, and you can't really say hit or miss which one it is. But it is really finding out that being in those moments and being available, whether that is preaching at a nursing home and working with that, or like the other day I was helping out with doing mock job interviews at the high school, that I don't ever have the same job day to day to day to day. It's not just Bible study. It's all over the place. And so, and like my wife, who goes in and has a great work, but she knows what she's going to have to deal with and do that. And there's some expectation, and there's some surprises along the way, but we pretty well know this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
I can come in with going, that's it. But God comes in and goes, no, you're talking to this person all day.
Talk about getting hijacked for Jesus all the time.
Exactly.
But there's a person that really thrives in that type of some of the spontaneity of it, but also just like how creative you're able to be in those spaces. And it's constant variety all the time. And it's constantly people throwing things at you and requiring you to be present, requiring you to have ideas and a path forward. And there's only certain people that thrive in that place. Yeah. And that's probably one of the reasons that burnout is so high, among pastors. And one of the reasons that it's really hard to get, a great one is the desires and the skills and the energy of the pastor has to align with those things that the congregation is needing. And that's tough.
It is.
It's gotta be side by side.